Hi guys, 18 Dapper here and welcome to the latest matchday preview on the channel, League 2 football. For this one, it's Port Vale versus Doncaster Rovers. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to the latest matchday preview, Port Vale versus Doncaster Rovers in League 2. If you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for supporting the channel and sticking with us. I greatly appreciate it, it means the world to me. If this video has brought you to the channel and you enjoy this sort of content and you want to see more, please consider clicking subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you are new to the channel, this is a format that will go through match previews, look at previous meetings between the two clubs, current form across all competitions. I choose a Doncaster Rovers player to say a few words about, and then I choose a Port Vale player to highlight as the one to watch. But as I always say, you know your club much better than I do, so if there's somebody else that should be in the conversation at that point, get them in the comments down below. I do like to learn about all the clubs that we're facing in League 2. And then we finish with three predictions: the predicted team lineup thanks to FanHub, the predictions league table that me and the family do, and then the all important score prediction at the very end to finish the video off. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings. Donny and Port Vale have faced off a total of 52 times in our history, and it's fairly even. Rovers winning 20, Port Vale winning 23, and we've only shared the spoils on 9 occasions. But when we drill down into the more recent 5, it's much better reading for Port Vale fans, with 4 wins and a draw out of those last 5. But we have to jump back to 2014. 15 season in League One, and that was a 3-1 away home defeat and a 3-0 away defeat, and then the season after, the 15-16 season, a 3-0 defeat away from home once again, and a 2-1 defeat at home for the Rovers. And then in November of 2016 in the Football League Trophy, it was 0-0 draw in Doncaster. So yeah, not great reading for Rovers fans in that last more recent 5, so hopefully we can stop that pattern and get a win tomorrow. We will see. Current form doesn't really suggest which way this is going. Donny, 2 wins, a defeat, a win and a defeat. Port Vale, very hit and miss: win, defeat, draw, win, defeat. So yeah, like I say, there's not really a pattern emerging there either, so it's a tough one to call tomorrow's fixture. And as I said, it's a bit hit and miss for this season so far for Port Vale, with consistency yet to come across all competitions. Like I say, win, lost, drawn, won, lost. It's not a great pattern. But they've beaten Salford twice in August, and have also been beaten twice by Barrow in August, with a 0-0 draw against Tranmere sandwiched in the middle. But Port Vale, they have had a full week to take stock of the last defeat, which was 4-0 against Barrow in the league. They've licked the wounds and had a few extra days to prepare, whereas Donny played midweek, so that may pay dividends for Darren Moore's men. We will see when tomorrow comes. On to Donny, got back to winning ways in the league last time out with a relatively unconvincing 1-0 win over Morecambe, where free-flowing football was difficult to come by, and I think that was more Morecambe sitting in and we were trying to just break them down a little bit, and struggled for the 90. It could have been a very different scoreline though, with Donny hitting the woodwork 3 times. We hit the post in the first half and the second, and hit the crossbar in the first as well. So 6 inches the right, a little further in, and it's a 4-0 scoreline, and it looks a lot more comfortable. But moving on to midweek, I can't be any prouder of the lads that put on a great showing on the pitch and off it. I thought it was a fantastic atmosphere at Everton midweek. I thought the kind of banter between us fans and some of the Everton fans was fantastic. We were quite close to the Everton fans, and we gave as much as we got. And at the end, handshakes were all around, and every Everton fan that I spoke to wished us well and congratulated us for kind of bringing the game to Everton. So I do think 3-0 was a flattering scoreline. I don't think it was a 3-0 game. I say flattering. Everton were the better team, looked a lot more controlled on the ball, but the effort and determination and drive that the Rovers players put in was what I wanted, really. I just wanted us to put in a really good account of ourselves, which we did. It'd have been nice to have scored a goal, but you can't have everything. But yeah, it was nice to take Goodison off midweek. I'm just hoping that the efforts put in midweek don't kind of impact on the trip to Vale Park tomorrow. But yeah, again, we will see when tomorrow comes. On to player profile. So for this one, I've gone with Joe Ironside, Donny's centre forward, 30 years old, 24 goals across all competitions last season, and he's yet to get off the mark this campaign, which is a shame because his work ethic and drive on the pitch is second to none. And for me, a goal's got to be coming. I can see a goal coming, and hopefully that'll just open the floodgates like it did last season, and we get another 15-20 goal season from Joe. But I think the efforts that he puts in off of the ball and in his hold-up play, we shouldn't be overlooking that. We shouldn't just be thinking he's a centre forward who should be scoring goals. If he's allowing other players a bit of freedom and a bit of space because he's occupying defenders and they're getting goals, then I think we need to look at his game as a bigger picture. And it seems to be helping create that space for his attacking midfielders. So I'm hoping that the goals come, because ultimately that's what strikers live off. But like I say, if he's occupying defenders and releasing space for other players to capitalise on, then long may it continue. So hoping for a goal. It's going to come at some point. Moving on to the opponent's one to watch. As I said at the start of the video, you know your club much better than I do, so if there's somebody else who should be in the comments, in the conversation, get them in the comments. There's an absolute depth of talent at Port Vale. You've got George Byers, Stockley up front. There's a few other players that escape me, but I've had to go with Ronan Curtis on this one. 28 years old, left winger, a fantastic left midfielder. 351 career appearances, did very well at Portsmouth, 86 goals, 51 assists, great at set pieces, is a tricky midfielder to keep tabs on, and our right hand side is going to have to be on their game tomorrow if we're going to stop Ronan from kind of creating any opportunities for Port Vale. He's already got 2 assists this season. Hopefully he doesn't get a goal or assist tomorrow. So the one to watch for me for Port Vale tomorrow, Ronan Curtis, but there are a few other players in there that we can't really take his eye off of as well. Onto the predicted team lineup. This is thanks to FanHub. If you've not downloaded the app yet, please go ahead and do so. Plenty of features to get your teeth stuck into. The predicted team lineup is what it's all about for me, though, and I've gone with Sharman Lowe in goal. A couple of changes from midweek. Sterry at right back, Anderson and Olawu as a centre back pairing, which I feel harsh on McGrath, but I think the efforts that he put in on Tuesday night, he may just need that bit of rest, and possibly Anderson was left out. So with this game in mind, Fleming in at left back as well. Midfield three of Bailey, Kelly and Clifton, with Molyneux on the right, Gibson on the left, with Joe Ironside up front on his own. I think Kelly's a great player. I think he just needs to release the ball a little bit earlier, but he's still very young, learning his trade. I think alongside Bailey, if he matches kind of what he does, we've got a good midfield there. So that's my predicted 11. Let me know if you've changed anybody in the comments down below. Onto the predictions league table. So if you're new to this, me and the family predict the scoreline for every single league game. If we get it spot on, we get 3 points. If we get the outcome right but not the scoreline, we get 1 point. Get it completely wrong, we get no points. And for the Morecambe game, me, Chris and Max all went with wins, 2-0, 3-0 and a 4-1, I believe. My dad stuck with his Desmond 2-2. It was 1-1, so 1 point added to Max, Chris and myself. So that puts Max still on top on 4 points. Me and Chris joint second on 2. Dad yet to get off the mark. Maybe this game could finish 2-2 and he'll get off the mark. We will see. Moving on to the score prediction to round the video off, and I'm hoping that we've got some confidence from the Everton game and how we played. And I think if we play like that against the majority of League Two teams, we will win more than we lose this season. But Port Vale will be wanting a response and a reaction from the 4-0 defeat last Saturday, especially at home as well. Darren Moore will obviously want to do his old team over, as you always do want to a certain extent. So I think it's going to be a very, very tough afternoon. 12:30 kickoff. Never like an early kickoff, but I think we'll bring something home. I'm going with a 1-1 draw. Port Vale lick the wounds, slightly better than a 4-0 defeat, and I take points away from home, especially against a team which I suspect will be there or thereabouts towards the top end of the table come the end of the season. So yeah, I'm gonna go 1-1. I'd be ecstatic fetching 3 points home, but that's a tough ask, especially with more recent 5 games where we've not won a game in them. So I'm going to stick with a conservative 1-1 draw. And that brings me to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below, let me know your score prediction. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you've enjoyed this content and you're new to it, please subscribe. And all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.